and welcome to this Thursday's live craft and chat. Just as I went live, my light fell down. So just bear with me for 1 second while I turn that off and get rid of it. It just fell straight over. Live video, people. This is what happens sometimes. Huge shout out to all of those that you were in the live chat before the live even started, and a huge hello to those of you that are watching on the replay. I'm just having a quick scroll through the chat. Everyone's talking about their dinner and what they're having. Oh my goodness. Freaky Geek's going to be lurking today while I ply yarn. Reading is getting worse. Hope all is well. Oh goodness. Yes, it does make it hard to ply and read at the same time, I can imagine. It's quite humid. Yes, I agree with you. It's very humid here today. I've got the AC running, so sorry about the noise, but I'm not turning it off. Yeah, so it is all going. Just having a quick look, lots of chat about different yarns, all that kind of stuff. So we have our mods in the house. We have Sally, we have Leanne. Do you mind not digging a hole in the floor? Louie's back here just trying to dig up my carpet. Good job, Lou. Come on, chair. There we go. Yeah, so we've got our mods in the room. They'll help us with any links, any trolls, lots of different things. Also, they just get in and chat as well because it's fun. Good morning, Pam Patterson. It's been ages since I've seen you in a live stream. So it's been a crazy couple of weeks here. Lots of stuff happening in the background, but something that I wanted to talk to you all about, which is a little, I nearly didn't stream today just because of time constraints that I have. But I'm going to be moving Fiberific into the house and relinquishing the shack so that I can have a little less time out here in the dark late at night and just, lots of different reasons. But it's time for the shack to go. So we've got a few more weeks of live streaming in the shack, but you'll start to notice things are changing up, possibly. Maybe you may not even notice. That's the goal, but I wanted to share with you anyway. And so, yeah, we're just getting in and getting things sorted and moving things around, sorting things out. Keep an eye out at some stage. I'll be having some of my larger equipment for sale. Just my personal, like I've got a loom that I don't use that I've, prefer have someone using it and things like that. Nothing too scary. Don't be afraid. But as I'm cleaning out the shack and finding things, I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even know this was here. Like a Nancy's Knickknacks 2-yard Swift. So the nice big wooden ones. There's one of those in a box, never opened. Well, opened to check that it arrived, and then closed back up. So yeah, I'm finding some things. But it is going to be a fun day today. I am working on my queen. I'm still got a couple more rows before I finish off with this color. So we're, I don't know if we're going to make it because this is all the yarn I have. So we will see. We will see what happens. That's right, Pam, you did move state. I was aware. I do troll you on socials. So Sally, thank you. Yes, if you like being in these live chats, make sure you hit that thumbs up. I definitely appreciate that. And chat, drop in and say hello. In my cup today is very exciting. We have water. So my throat's a little parched today. So we're going to drop straight down to the double cam today. Hopefully the colors and what have you aren't too off. They're a little off. Now that I've just lost my side light, I should probably put an effort and try and bring that back, right? That would make a big difference here for this screen. So in the chat, let me know, what project are you working on? I would love to know. Ruth says the first thing I do is hit the thumbs up. Yeah, I do that when I jump into live streams of people that I regularly watch. Definitely. First thing, thumbs up so I don't forget. And Sally, this is an excellent point. And hello to the lurkers. We do appreciate you for sure. Absolutely. So yes, it is. It's definitely one of these crazy times. Jancy is card making today. Nice job, Jancy. Is that? I used to make cards that had cross stitch inserts. Are you doing like scrapbooking cards with like stamps and all that kind of stuff, or are you doing something a bit different? There's so many different ways to make cards. Honestly, so many different ways. I have been very much trying to not start new projects, but in all my shuffling around and kerfuffling around, I'm finding some other not completed projects that were kind of backburnered for whatever reason. So I may be pulling out some of those as time goes on as well. So we have definitely hit the halfway mark on this blanket, which is nice. But sometimes I would like to do something different. But I'm trying very hard to be a good girl and just finish it. Just finish it. Because I want to use it in winter, and I just don't know if I'm going to get there, honestly. I think this winter might be too close as we are heading into autumn now. I'm here in Australia, so our seasons are a little different. Molly is about to start on a cobweb shawl. Nice work, Molly. Jancy is making paper and stamps because I went to the shops and was horrified at a $10 card. I agree. I'm always just blown away at how expensive gift cards and gift wrap are. I'm just like always just like, what? Like, my question is, why can Christmas paper, like even good Christmas paper, be so inexpensive, but then non-specific paper or rolls, because I prefer a roll, hang on, or rolls of birthday paper are so insane. Anyway, I don't even know what to say about that. But yes, card making is an awesome skill to have. Leanne is still working on the same project, the interlocking crochet blanket for Sophie, my granddaughter. It's a big project like the Queen View. Yeah, it does. Does it ever feel like you're just never going to finish it, except you know you're making progress? Because that's how I feel about my Queen. Vampire is knitting for my new niece who is due to be born next week. That is awesome. Started a mystery knit along by Expression Fiber Art. Ooh, do you have any idea of like roughly, like is it shawl shaped or like blanket shaped, or I don't know. Pam Patterson is spindling buffalo down. I was gifted last week. Buffalo is very nice to work with. It's so soft, but it's quite short, the down. But especially if you're spindling it, hello. Dolores is finishing stocking number 2, hoping to cast on number 3 within half an hour. We'll keep you to that. What's the time, everybody? It's 10 a.m. my time, so it's 10:08, so at 10:38 we'll check if I remember. Lots of chatting. Oh, it's a blanket, Ruth says. It's a year-long make-along. Wow. Well, I mean, I suppose at least I'm not trying to rush you through, which, you know, some people try to rush you through things and it doesn't work, except it works for some people. Queen, point in case. Some people finished it so soon. I started the Queen at the time the Cal started. I did put it in the naughty corner all through the first summer. Pam says that the buffalo down is very short. Yes, it is, but gosh, it's soft. It's so soft. How wonderful is Expression Fiber Arts? She inspiring now, isn't she? Yes, she is. She's phenomenal and just does so much. Amanda, welcome to the chat. Still swatching for the Charade Brioche sweater by Patty Lyons. My first knit sweater for myself. Oh, fantastic. There's nothing quite like wearing a sweater or cardigan that you've made for yourself that just, it's comfy. It's just so comfy and warm. I can't wait to see photos. Kathy has finished her King Cole Curiosity blanket, now working on a blanket by I'll Be Hooked, the Melissa Afghan pattern. Wow. So for those of you that aren't aware, we do have a Facebook group, Fiberific Fun Zone. So if you want to share photos of what you're working on, please go and pop them over there so we can all have a look. That would be awesome. I love going in and checking and seeing what sort of colors people are choosing and the patterns they're choosing, inspiring me and taunting me because I'm stuck on this same pattern forever and ever and ever. No, it's not taunting. It does. I have a list of things I would really love to do. There's another blanket, funnily enough, but I think I might not cast on another blanket for a while. Kathy's photo is in the fun zone. I did see it there this morning. And Sally has popped in a link. So those of you that are new, go and click on that link that Sally's got there and they'll take you to the fun zone. You will be asked a couple of questions. They're very tricky. Things like, do you like yarn? So they're very hard questions. Oops, hang on. That needs to be a doobie. What's it? So yes, very tricky questions for a yarn group. Very, very hard. So I'm just going to keep working on this project. I've got, where am I? This is, okay, so I'm technically on row 188 of what I've worked on, but it's chart row 124. And I change colors at 127. So I've only got, maybe one more row. I've only got one more row of this. So I could make it. I should possibly have brought out the next color. Maybe. Oh, goodness me. So I may possibly make it. All right. Francis says, I'm spinning some 17 micron merino this morning. It's a lovely soft. I bet it is. 17 micron. Hello. I think the questions are a bit questionable myself. They're not questionable. I posted a picture of a shawl I'm plying yarn for now. Oh, I'll go and have a look at that after the stream, Freaky. Because you're planning this spin, aren't you? I don't tend to do that. And when I do, I never finish the spin, it seems. So, yeah. We're just crocheting and crocheting. What I really want to do is I want to be able to alternate between crochet patterns and knit patterns for these live streams. But because I've just been like, I need to keep going on this blanket, those of you that are not into crochet may be feeling it a little neglected, and I'm sorry about that. But I really just need to finish this project. And sometimes we just have to put our heads down and just go. So last week we had the last Caffeinated Crafters for March. The first one will be the first Thursday in April, the date of which I can't remember. It's like the 6th or the 7th of April or something. Anyway, and I took along my fusion squares. I took my crochet hook. I took the pattern. I took scissors, and I forgot the yarn, so I couldn't work on it. So because it was like the only one I can sort of really, I can't take this out anywhere. It's so big. So my fusion blanket is my little travel blanket as such for now until I have to start joining the squares. But yeah, it was so funny because I couldn't do it. I could not do it because I forgot the yarn like an idiot. I've now put the yarn in the bag already. I got home and I just grabbed the yarn and I shoved it straight in the little bag so that next time I want to travel with it, it's all ready to go. I don't have to mess around. So Mel is working on the Shift Cowl by Andrea Mowry. I don't think I've seen that one either. And Deb D is working on her Yuletide blanket by Attic24. That one's on my list. That's one of the ones I wanted to make, but I thought, no, I have to finish this one first. Oh, it's so. Now, let me think. I was going to say something. It's just a whoop out of my brain. Gone. So we'll just keep crafting. And that's what I was going to say. I've got water in my cup today. What have you got in your cup? I know we're all on different time zones. For me, it's a bit early to have much more than water or coffee. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning here for me. Francis says, can you tell us more about Caffeinated Crafters? I'm trying to start a group here. That's a great question. So a few years ago, so it was a couple of years before COVID hit, I realized that I never left the house. Like other than school run, all grocery shopping or post office. I wasn't really going out and I wasn't really making an effort. And I couldn't find a craft group that's in my area that was at a time that suited me. I wanted something at night, not during the day. And like all the local groups were all through the day, and they just, I tried a couple and they just weren't me. So I just thought, I'm going to start my own group. And it was so terrifying. So I just I posted it on my socials, like, hey, I'm going to be at this cafe at this time. And I just had to be prepared to sit there by myself. And that was the scary part. So I had my craft ready, and this particular cafe served dinner. So I was going to have my dinner and do some craft and have a coffee and, just chill and just have some time for myself outside of the house, which was the ultimate goal, really, which was I just needed a little bit of time to myself, not in the house. And so what had happened was a lady that I had taught in New Zealand because I would go over to New Zealand maybe once a year or twice or once every second year, and I would go over there to teach some workshops. And a lady that I'd taught in New Zealand contacted some friends of hers that live local here. They knew nothing about Fiberific. And I get to the cafe the very first night, and I'm like, oh, I'm here because I made a booking and told people, look, it's the booking under Caffeinated Crafters. And the lady's like, oh, yes, there's a couple already here. They're over there. And I'm like, I had to go up to a table with ladies I didn't know, and I was a bit scared. And it was Joss and Tammy, who have become really good friends of mine. And they're just amazing women. And it was just the three of us for a couple of visits, and then it slowly grew. And then just before COVID hit, we were getting more like 20-ish people. By then we'd had to change venue. We meet up at the IKEA restaurant now. And due to COVID, we actually had to stop meeting, and it was a bit disappointing. And we just had our first one back last week, and it was fun. It was so fun. So I'll be really happy to get the ball rolling on that again and just get out and do a bit more and, see actual humans. So yeah, that's basically how it happened. You've got to get it out there somehow. For me, I just used my social media. Depending on the venue you choose, like these guys also let me put up little flyers. I made little flyers. They weren't anything flash. I just printed them on my printer at home, and they put them up. And because I was willing to have any crafter. It didn't even have to be yarn craft. It was just craft. And met some amazing people, and got to meet some Fiberifians who I hadn't met before, who were local, and it was just fun. It's definitely worth doing. If you're in an area where there's a few people, except you can't find a craft group that suits you, like suits your time, there's probably somebody else who can't find a craft group at a time that suits them. So maybe you could start that for other people like you. So it's definitely worth doing. And you know what? A craft group can be 2 people. That's a craft group. A craft outing can be just you in a coffee shop with your craft. Pop an audio book on if you're uncomfortable with the silence, and just craft and drink your coffee and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, hope that answered your question. If you've got any other questions, jump on in. Good morning, Nettie. How are you going? Kathy's got Coke Zero in her cup. Artog's here. Hello, Artog. It's been ages. Yeah, so we're just crafting away. We're doing the Thursday huge, Wednesday for some of you. Now I did forget to share this on the socials, so I'm going to see if I can pop it out on Facebook. I'm just going to see what we can see here. So you guys just keep crafting. And I'm just going to, I think Sal has popped a link in. Oh, no, I switched profile. Do you know what? I hate it when my phone switches to my business profile, because whenever it switches back, it crashes. Let's see if we can just share it. Copy. And then we want to go to Facebook. I don't want that. Oh, please don't crash when you switch back. I would like to post it on my Facebook. Having an awesome time hanging out, working on my queen live. Come say hi. Done. Okay, thank you for bearing with. My dad rang. Like, seriously, Dad. Seriously, Dad. He knows I have live stream every Thursday. Sally's already shared. Thank you, Sally. Leanne's popped in a post here. Oh, hello, Lou. Are you coming back, are you? I get so much out of my craft group, and yes, sometimes it does take some serious talking to myself to get there, but I'm always pleased I went. And that's the thing, isn't it? We are, like, even before, the world changed, it was an effort to talk myself into going places, because I am so used to just being here or with my husband and my daughter, and I'm pretty, I know it's hard to believe, pretty well introverted. But yeah, just getting out sometimes makes a huge difference. And I was talking to my husband about it when I was very first planning to start Caffeinated Crafters. And I was like, look, even if I just go out for an hour, just outside of the house by myself and read a magazine, or have a coffee or something. I said, I just need that for my own mental health. And he was just like, yep, that sounds like a good plan. Sometimes you do just need to get out of your usual routines. So, yeah. Oh, so nobody else is going to tell me what's in your cup? Just Kathy. Kathy's got a Coke Zero, and I've got my tea. My tea. I actually regret not making tea. I've just got water. So yes. And let me think. What are you doing now? Oh, check it out. Slug dog. I'm just gonna go here. Which way do I go? I'm just gonna roll over here. Hello, Lou. Oh, you're asleep. I'll wake you up. Hello, Sleepy. He's off for a haircut tomorrow. Tomorrow? No, Saturday. Saturday, he's off for a haircut. He's getting a bit of long-hairedness, and I think the heat's really taken it out of him. I keep hearing this noise, and I think it's Louis jumping off the chair, so I keep checking. But what it is my neighbor is removing an old Besser brick shed, and so he's filling up a skip, and so I can hear it. It's just loud enough that I can hear it. You guys won't be able to hear it, but it does keep making me check on Louis, because it definitely sounds like that sound of like when a dog jumps off onto a floor. Oh, here we go. Sally has nothing because she's already drunk her mocha. Artog has got coffee. Nice. Ooh, rosemint tea. That sounds lovely. Bush tea. I don't think I've ever had bush tea. Tea for Deb. Water for Dolores. No cup for Vanfia. Has Artog got the cup? Chai tea for Francis. Oh, Chancy says, I forgot I was making a coffee. I hate it when I make the coffee and then forget I made it and let it go cold, because that never happens. All the time. Leanne says, I just had coffee number 2. It was good. Nice. Working and side watching with my cold brew. Ooh, sneaky watching. What's brisk iced tea? I'm very curious. I don't know what that is. Iced tea for Ruth. Gamer Widows from Plague Free. Congratulations. Chuck vanilla tea in my cup and spinning some random wool fiber with my turkey spindle. Are you feeling any better is the question. Like, you might be plague free now, but long plague is a thing. And Rebecca Nelson bringing it in with some whiskey. Nice job, Rebecca. That sounds very nice. And I know you're on a different time zone than me, so I'm a bit jealous right now. I think I could use a nice whiskey. I've got some very nice Japanese whiskey inside that I'm just like, that would be nice for later on tonight. Yes, I agree, Leanne. It's been a long journey. It's been a long journey for Game Widows' family to get out of COVID Central. So yes, just so much. This row is actually like a really simple row to do for a live stream, I have to say. Like, I probably spoke too soon. Next row is probably a nightmare. Oh, more drinks. I don't know. I'm much better than I was. Still a bit breathless and exhausted, but not as bad. That is awesome. Nettie is having black tea plus a spinach and mixed berry smoothie for breakfast. I'm really glad that you cleared that up, because I think a black tea spinach mixed berry would have been a bit like, what? But yes, 2 beverages for Nettie. Oh, Kirby says it's a brand. Okay, it's a bottle brand of iced tea. Okay, cool. I thought it was like a recipe for something, like a fast one, like make a good fast iced tea. I'm like, ooh, bring that on. But no, I mean, it's fast because you just open the bottle. I love iced tea. And look, I like all different brands of iced tea. I don't often find one I don't like. I'm not a fan of them when they're like super sweet. I don't mind a little bit of sweet, but not super sweet. Like I remember I got an iced, when I go to Zaraffa's, I get an iced tea with a pump of lychee. So I have a lychee iced tea. I really like that, but it's quite sweet. But I like it very much. So I don't have it very often because it's very sweet. Also, I feel gypped, okay? Like, I get it. It's their IP and they've got all the pumps and the syrups and everything. But I don't like spending $5 for a cup of iced tea that's inherently cordial. I feel gypped. I feel so gypped, but it's still delicious. And every now and again, when I've got heaps of points built up because Abby gets smoothies and stuff and I get her to use my card, that's what I use my card points for. I'm like, bring on the free iced tea cordial. But it's delicious. But I get it. It's their brand. Got to pay for the cup, got to pay for the staff, not just the drink. Rebecca says, I used to drink Nestea iced tea, but now I find them too sweet. Yeah, and like when people are like, oh, you could just get the unsweetened version, not the unsweetened, the like the zero versions, but they've all got NutraSweet or aspartame in them, and for me, I can taste that. I instantly taste it, and it ruins anything that flavor's in. So, like, we have this discussion because there's this particular soft drink that Abby really likes. It's a zero sugar one, and she keeps trying to get me to drink it. And I'm like, Abby, buy the sugar version and I'll drink it. And she's like, yeah, but the zero sugar is so much better for you. And I'm like, it's really not. It's really not any better for you. And I said, you know, if you're worried about your sugar intake, just have less of it. It's simple. Have less. And so that's what I do. I have less soft drinks and less sweet drinks so that I don't feel guilty about not having the zero or the sugar-free versions. But I like the unsweetened iced teas that they don't put aspartame into it. Yeah, they don't put aspartame into it, but like they just don't sweeten it. I like those ones. Nettie said, oh, hang on. Sorry, nearly clicked a bad thing. Nettie says, I won't spend $5 on a tea bag and water. But see, that's the thing, Nettie. It's not just a tea bag and water. It's the tea bag, the water, for sure. It's also the staff member who put the tea bag in the water, who took your order, who, you know, then went on to wash and clean the cups and what have you. I do feel gypped, but I also understand that you're not just paying for the tea bag and water. I actually feel that way about buying coffee because I have my own coffee machine here at home with really good coffee in it, and I always feel gypped about spending $5 for a latte. I'm like, I can make that at home for considerably less. But I'm also then not supporting a small business. I'm not supporting, you know, someone's part-time job that helps pay them. And like, you know, that sounds so grandiose. Sometimes you just can't take that into account and you don't have $5 to spare. And that's totally normal too, like totally okay. So, but that's how I try to remind myself when I get into like, oh, I can't believe they want X amount of dollars for this thing. And it's just like, yeah, they do. They do. So I just have to decide, am I willing to pay it to do this thing or not? Sometimes I'm willing. Sometimes I'm not willing. So for my delicious cordial, I save the points and use the points to get that. So I feel less gypped. Less gypped. Since I started drinking carbonated water, I've not drunk any soft drinks. So weird that it replaced them so easily. It's the bubbles, Leanne. It's totally the bubbles. We got a soda stream, and we carbonate our own water. And yeah, same deal, especially on hot days when the back of my throat gets all dry, which happens really often. Just a carbonated water fixes it. I don't need the sugar. Dolores made it. And with minutes to spare, absolutely you have. You're 8 minutes early, plus the time it took for me to notice the comment. Yeah, Leanne says it must have been the bubbles. I love bubbles. I really do. I love bubbly drinks so much, but I will happily have a mineral water or a carbonated water. I do not like, however, the SodaStream syrups. I've tried so many of them and I just don't like them. So what I tend to do, because I'm so sad and tragic, is I will make my carbonated water and then get my Golden Circle cordial, put that into the cup, and then just make it up with the bubbly water. Molly has a SodaStream. Yes. Jancy loves SodaStream. I also love that I can make it like extra bubbly, like psh, psh, psh. I may have too much fun with my SodaStream. Whoops. Vampire says, not a fan of iced tea, but my daughter got me into bubble tea. Oh, I do like a bubble tea. So, or some places call it boba. Same deal. Bubble tea, boba, same thing. With the bubble tea, I like getting a coconut milk bubble tea with lychee jellies. I'm obsessed with lychee, it turns out. I know this. It's okay. I also buy lots of lychees when they're in season because I love lychees. So yes, so I get my coconut bubble tea with the jellies. But again, like that's just some powders and some water and some ice and shake, and they've made it. But dudes, I've tried buying those at-home bubble tea kits. Nope. I go to my bubble tea place and get them to make it. Again, it just means I have it a lot less frequently. Something I love. It's so delicious. Sally says, I love drinking bubbly water on a hot day. Absolutely. Game Widow says, years ago, I only drank soft drink for the fizz, SodaStream for the win. I know. Isn't it bizarre? Because I really do think it's the bubbles. I don't think it's always, like sometimes, sure, it's the flavors, but I really think for the majority of the time, it's the bubbles that you want. And so just having, because the other thing is I don't like cold water out of the fridge. I don't like refrigerated water unless it's bubbly. Otherwise, I like tap water, like room temperature. So, yeah. What's bubble tea? It's very hard for me to describe. So basically, you normally go to a shop to get it made, and you get to choose between all of these sort of like milky flavorings. So there's tons to choose from, but there's original, which is it's tea-ish flavored, and with milky stuff in it. And then you can choose like tapioca pearls. So when you suck through, you have a huge straw, you suck through the straw and a big tapioca pearl comes in and you got to chew it up. Or you can have like flavored jellies or rainbow jelly. Like you've got options, but it's just a big drink and it's really like lots of ice in it. Anyway, yeah. Molly, I never thought of that. Use Queen Essence in mine. In summer, we'd put a couple of drops of peppermint in the soda water. I never thought of that. I definitely have to give that a try. Dolores says, I like mineral water. Also, sometimes I add a little lemon juice for flavor. See, I realized I was buying a lot of mineral water, like just, the big bottles of mineral water and having them in the fridge. And I was probably going through 3 bottles a week. And my husband was just like, what if we try the SodaStream thing? If it's not, because it was like half price on super special. I think we got it for like $40. And so we were like, well, that's like just a couple of weeks worth. And we got our $40 worth, like no doubt. I know they're a lot more expensive when they're full price, but we end up having to, because a few years ago, they changed the gas cylinders. So we had to change our actual thingy. So we upgraded and it's still worth it. Still totally worth it. Sally says tip. Don't try re-spritzing flat Coke in your soda stream. I can't see that ending well. No, not at all. Oh, Sally's popped in a link for bubble tea. Thank you. Look, one thing I've done, which SodaStream don't recommend you using anything except for water, but I'll tell you what, I used apple juice. Just, I filled up the SodaStream thingy up to its little line, poured in the apple juice, and I bubbled the apple juice, and that was so good. I was like, will this void my warranty if something goes wrong? But it's out of warranty now, so I totally need to spritz up some more apple juice. Oh, I love sparkling apple juice. Molly says, I've been using SodaStream for about 30 years. I've only been going for about 10, but yeah, it's one of those amazing, amazing pieces of kitchen kit that we don't realize how useful it is, because you're like, oh, a whole thing just for making soft drink. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And it can, like, we've got lots of ice in the fridge and stuff like that, and spritz up some water and pop in some cordial, and bam, you're good to go. Oh, I just got the message. Oh, YouTube just told me that, hey, Fiberific's going live on YouTube. Really? Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. This is the advantage of you guys who pop it in your weekly reminders at the same time every week we're going live, because YouTube doesn't always let you know in a timely manner. There's people who come in 5 minutes before the end of the stream because YouTube only just told them it was on. Oh, goodness. Jancy, what now? SodaStream bubbly water makes your omelette fluffy. Really? Because I only put about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of water in my omelettes. How much water do you put in your omelette? Just out of curiosity, so I can gauge it. I never had one as a kid, and used to love going to cousins' places who had the ones with the glass bottles. Yeah, like I never had one as a kid either, but it was one of those things, like you'd be at people's houses and they'd be like, oh yeah, I'll just bubble up some soft drink for you kids to have. And you'd be like, oh, really? That's so exciting. I'd be so thrilled. So thrilled. All right, we're at the end of the row. That's how fast this row was. It's not even an hour in and I'm finishing a row. Shocker. Let's have a look here. So let me do that. Ooh, hang on a second. 1, then 2. Oh, okay. I'm ahead of myself. It's fine. There's nothing to see here. Let's just keep going. Oh, Jancy says about the same. I never measure. Yeah, I just sort of grab it. Like I tend to just go like this with that, and that's enough. But yeah, a little blob, a glug of, or a half glug, maybe would be better. Oops, sorry. I'll put my hands back under the camera. Oh, Molly says I use SodaStream water in batter as well. I wonder how it would be in like pikelet mix. Because I'm like, you guys are phenomenal, honestly. Like, we're just talking about something so, I've lost my scissors. What have I done with them? I know what I've done with them. They're over there. I got to go and get my scissors. But you guys are amazing. Scissors. They're not over here. Well, there's some still there. You'll do. I wonder what happened to the scissors. They're probably under the blanket somewhere. They're not on the other bench at all. Yeah, so Francis, when I'm making an omelette, I just use egg, salt and pepper, a bit of herbs, a tablespoon or 2 of water. It makes it really light. And yeah, and then once it sort of started cooking, I'll layer it with whatever I want in the omelette, like mushrooms, or like I pre-cook the mushrooms if they're going in, but like cheese, tomato, ham, whatever that goes in the middle, and then I flip it over. Okay. Alrighty, we're on to the the last row. I can't believe we're on the last row of this color. Fingers crossed that this is enough. It really should be, right? It should be enough for a single row. I might suggest that Stuart uses it in a damper on the weekend. That could be cool. I've got two ends. I've just got to. Oh, this is such a mess. I meant to wind this into a ball this week and I totally forgot about it. I was doing other things. Excuse me. See, isn't it interesting? Like so many of us make omelets, but we all do it so differently. Okay, we've joined on the color. All right. Francis says, yarn chicken. I know. And this is a big row of like a lot of trebles or double crochets, depending on where you're from. Get comfy in the chair, Chantel. Okay, have a sip of water. Leanne says she makes omelets in her wok. Awesome. John doesn't make omelets because eggs are gross. I love eggs. Eggs are amazing. I'm actually out of eggs, and I've been out of eggs for like a week, and I keep meat. They're on the shopping list. I just totally forget to buy them. And it's doing my head in because sometimes, especially after live stream, I'll have like 2-minute noodles, like, you know, the dry ramen with like a bit of egg, a bit of capsicum, whatever other little veggies I've got floating around, and like a bit of chili flakes. That's my post live stream lunch because you guys make me so hungry with all the food talk. All right, so hang on, I got to do a quick count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, 7. Kathy agrees with John. Really? 2-minute noodles. Our dry ramen takes 3 minutes, does it? Ours is 2. I don't know why. I don't know. Or the other thing I do is I grab some like super skinny spaghettis, like angel hair spaghetti or something like that, and I'll just make up same sort of deal in a fry pan. Like I'll just use the spaghetti instead of the ramen and cook up the spaghetti, and in a pan I will cook up garlic and again, whatever little veg I've got floating around, some mushrooms, some capsicum. I've got some olives at the moment. That'd be pretty cool. Like, you know, a bit of zucchini or whatever. Throw it in a pan, make it all, you know, cooked. Toss in a teaspoon of like pesto sauce. Drop in the pasta, a couple of tablespoons of pasta water. Give it a stir. Tip it in a bowl. Food. That's my those sorts of things. My lunch after live streams. On non-live streaming days, it's like, yeah, good luck. What did I have for lunch? No idea. I don't know. Did I have lunch? Possibly not. Live streaming day, so I'm starving. John says, weird, I flavor my oriental flavor ramen with a dash of Worcestershire and some crushed red pepper. Hey, like whatever flavors you like, that's the advantage with ramen. It can make anything good. Like you can add anything to it, like whatever flavor profile you want. My daughter started making scrambled eggs after school, so this week I've bought about 12. About 2 dozen. Oh my gosh. My daughter, who has always been a bit like John and Kathy, like eggs are yuck. She's not allergic to eggs like Game Widows. But like she'd eat cakes and muffins and stuff with eggs in it, would not eat quiche, would not eat scrambled eggs or eggs on toast or any, like you couldn't even give her like eggs and dunking soldiers when she was little. Like, nope. Well, now she's obsessed with making breakfast burritos, and she puts bacon, egg, barbecue sauce, bit of cheese in a burrito. So she has one of those on the weekends. So yeah. And even my husband's like, did you just put an egg in there? Because she's been like so anti-egg for so long. Francis says, "Yum, I'm getting hungry now." Yeah. What is ramen? So, Nettie, ramen, 2-minute noodles, like your Maggi 2-minute noodles, they're ramen. You can get dried ramen like those, or you can get fresh ramen in the fresh noodle section. Hey, Leslie Grant, how you going? Welcome to the chat. John says that though they changed the Oriental flavor ramen, they now call it soy sauce. Because, that's what it was, right? Like, they tried to make it sound fancy, and they've realized that people are like, dudes, you're doing bad things here. Okay, now, I'm just double checking where I'm up to. 1, 2, that. 1, 2. All right, we're going to be moving up the marker this row just because, look, you know what? You can move your markers whenever you want. I personally like to move the marker when I've got a treble like on its own, just so, like, see how I've got it there? Well, now I'm going to jump it up to there. Like, yep. Sally's back. You're lucky, Sally. No evildoers came in as far as I could see. Leanne was on if they came in at all. So, mods, bit of news for you guys. There's going to be some cool new mod tools coming out from YouTube. Plus, also, I've noticed across a whole pile of live streams that I moderate for, those bots are getting a lot less. YouTube's doing something in the back end to make it so that they're not doing their rubbish. Now that I say that, we'll probably be attacked. But YouTube's really trying to work hard on it, which is nice. John says, yeah, I move the markers up when I have a point like that. It's kind of like it reminds me to do it because I just forget, because I don't really use the markers for much other than sort of the start and the end. So, yeah. Game Widow says, like, I like mee goreng original with some frozen veg and a tablespoon of peanut butter. That sounds nice. I've never thought of putting peanut butter. Give it a bit of a satay feel. I like satay. That sounds good. Yeah, like, seriously, guys, we have hit the food talk early, haven't we? I think it's because I forgot to have breakfast, so I'm actually hungry, like, now. I had some coffee for breakfast. Coffee counts, right? Sue Ellen says, I have missed a few weeks. How big is your blanket now? It's so big, Sue Ellen. We're like, this is the last row of this orange yellow, and then we go back to this yellow. So we will have finished the midsection. Let me have a little, like, I'll spread it out a little just so that you can sort of get an idea. It's basically, if I lay back, it's so long now that it can, it can touch my feet. So I'm going to switch camera view. There we go. Oops, I'll pop that down. There we go. And then I'll just move the hook. There we go. It's so big, Sue Ellen. It's so big. I'm trying to make it so you can see how tall it is. It's so much blanket. It's enormous. It is enormous. Absolutely. Whoops, wrong camera. There we go. It's so enormous. It's going to be this ridiculous size blanket that is never going to fit in the washing machine to get washed, so we won't use it. Yes, coffee is breakfast. I think I forgot to eat too. My belly is rumbling. Yes. John says, damn it, now I want satay, chicken satays with peanut sauce and the cucumber stuff. Raita, I think that's what the cucumber yogurt stuff is called. But yeah, yeah. I'm like, will my usual 2-minute noodles or cheeky pasta cut it today? I call it cheeky pasta because it's total cheater. Oh yeah, a bit of fish sauce would be good, but yes, you'd be allergic to that as well. I'm all right with fish sauce as long as it's a little bit. Give it that, like, the little balance of zing. Two. No, that's not right. Hang on a second. Alrighty, so I've got to check where I'm up to. So that was the first point. Then 1, 2, then all of those. Then 1, and then 2, and then the new marker. Okay, I know where I'm at. Oh, okay. John says not to cucumber yogurt. A place near me has a clear cucumber sauce. I don't think I've ever had that. That sounds good. Ajad. Ajad. I don't know how to say the word. I'm trashing someone's language. I'm very sorry. That sounds good though. Nettie says I had my smoothie. I'm so full. Nettie, the other day, I decided to have a smoothie for lunch, right? And I didn't measure anything. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got some frozen fruit that needs to be used up. Throw that in, put some milk in it, because I just do fruit smoothies. I don't like stuff in my smoothies. And so I'm going to zhuzh it in my blender, and my blender's like, yeah, nah, this is solid. The milk's already solid. What are you going to do? So I had to add in more milk because I must just put in way too much fruit. Oh, and I had a fresh banana and some maple syrup. So I'm like trying to zhuzh. I ended up making probably a liter worth of smoothie. It was so much smoothie. I drank it all. It took me ages, but I did. I drank it all afternoon. Oh, it was so good. But next time I'll be more cautious about how much frozen fruit I'm putting in. Rebecca says, good thing I've already had dinner. Yeah, Rebecca. Absolutely. Oh, so okay. So those of you, I don't know if these are even a thing outside of Australia, but we have these ice cream sandwich things called Maxi Bonds, and it's like half of it's got biscuit base, like biscuits with ice cream in the middle of it, and you hold on to that. Then the other half is the ice cream bit dipped in chocolate, and sometimes it's got nuts on it, whatever. Anyway, I love Maxi Bonds. They're my kryptonite, and I try to only have 1 or 2 a year. I try to be very good because they're my kryptonite. Wing Delivery now delivers Maxi Bonds, so I've probably had 3 in the last 2 months because they just arrived by drone in my yard. Thank you. That can be my afternoon treat. And so anyway, I was at Woolies yesterday, and Maxi Bonds were like $4.50 for 4. I'm like, that's half price, dude. So I grabbed like 2 different flavors through them. And so anyway, my husband's going to get us out a bit of dessert last night, and he's like, what's with the Maxi Bonds? I'm like, oh my God, they were half price. He goes, so you bought 2 boxes instead of just 1? And I'm like, yes, they will last longer. And he's like, they will not. You'll have a Maxi Bond every night until they're gone. I'm like, maybe. So I'm just like, anyway, I had a caramel one last night. Never had a caramel Maxi Bond before. Oh my God. It was a little sweet. I won't lie to you, but not crazy sweet. I was, because caramel's his favorite. I was trying to, hedge my bets. And so, but even he was like, wow, this is so subtle. Yeah, sorry. Sue's like, sorry to digress from the food discussion. Sorry. Yeah. I'm hungry. That's what happens when I'm hungry. Here we go. You've replied here. Love the blanket. I completed my first mosaic blanket, probably half the size of yours, just before Christmas. It was a baby blanket for a daughter's friend, probs a good cot size. I'm kind of regretting not making mine just a dash smaller because this is my first mosaic as well. So, yes. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Hey, 2 Arctic Wolves, welcome to the chat. And Carly Hall Adventures is here as well. Hello, welcome to the chat. Sally says, that's the thing. I never measure either, but now I'll be more cautious. Molly says, I have a juicer that squishes frozen fruit so that it's just like ice cream, but 100% fruit. I used to go to a place when I lived in Sydney, and it was it was a fruit and veggie shop, and they had this little corner where, so what they were doing is, as the fruit was aging out, they would snap freeze it and then put it through the thing, and you could just get anything like bananas and mango and like all sorts of stuff, and have it like they just put the bits of fruit in this thing and it squished it into like a soft serve. It was so good. I've seen them like advertised for home use, but I've always been dubious because, like, does it really work? I might have to get some information off you because I love those sorts of things. Because I actually freeze bananas and then blend it with a stick blender, and it turns it into a cream. Because I like ice cream. Ice cream's not really good for me. right? Or anybody for that matter. But I love ice cream, and that's my one sort of super weakness is ice cream. So I can be like totally full, and Tim will be like, "Do you want a piece of cake?" And I'll be like, "No, I'm fine." And then he'll be like, "Do you want some ice cream?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can have ice cream." I mean, we do have like a little tiny bowl with little tiny scoops. We don't have a huge amount, but I'll have that. And that's the thing. Like I can blad up a frozen banana into like a little scoop of ice cream. It's not, I mean, it's not ice cream. It's frozen banana, but it's delicious. I love frozen banana with frozen pineapple mixed together and like is my favorite. Met my new lady friend for ice cream last night, and I had a forbidden chocolate fudge brownie sundae. I couldn't believe I ate all of those calories. Was it good is my question, because sometimes the calories just are worth it. But that sounds amazing. Leanne says, Leanne's saying hello to people. Yes. Molly says it's delicious. It's a champion juicer. Okay. Is that the brand? I'm going to look that up. Nettie says, I have to weigh everything except the cucumber and I cram the spinach in. Yeah. Oh, it was very good. Oh, that's awesome. Because that's the thing. What I particularly hate, right, is when you buy the naughty thing and then you get it and it's just a plate of disappointment. And you're just like, that wasn't worth those calories or the effort or whatever. And you're like, that's disappointing. So when it's like naughty but also amazing, you can then sustain yourself on the memory of how good it was. That's it for me anyway. Gotta move the mucker. Okay, keeping on going. I'm watching this yarn ball because it's just gonna disappear so fast. This is such a big row. I'm trying to crochet a dash tighter, not too tight because I don't want to pucker the blanket, but you know, the brand is Champion. Thank you, Molly. I'm gonna put that in a note to myself. Notes. No, new note. Champion juicer. Like, I'm not forgetting that. I want to check it out. Not that I'll be buying anything anytime soon, but I definitely would like to check it out. Ruth, you and me both. Hey, you and me both. And he had it last night, so I would have really struggled to get to sleep. But yes, definitely wired after that. Well, I'm glad that you and your new lady friend are having some nice outings, John. Just sort of throw that in there. Nettie says it's hard walking past the ice cream fridges with my eyes closed. Yeah, it's really tricky. And that's the advantage of being able to have something like fruits that you can have or not allergic to or don't react to and freeze them up and just turn them into like soft serve basically. Is less, because you're not adding any sugar. You don't add anything to it. It's just the fruit. So if you can have a banana and like a few cubes of pineapple, then that's that. There's no guilt. Is that in the right spot? Yes, it is. Bring you up. I have to say, I definitely prefer my little Clover quick lockers over the standard ones. They just open and close so much easier and faster. I don't know what the deal is. Hang on. 1, 2. Hang on. Okay. And then that. Alrighty, I'm good. I do love ice cream, but it has to be really warm for me to have it and enjoy it. No, I can eat ice cream in winter. But what I particularly love is, when you've done your grocery shopping and you've come home and your ice cream's just that little bit like soft from defrosting basically. I love that. Like all the edges of the tub. I'll be like, I'll have that later. And that's the thing. I don't have it then. I put it in the freezer, and then like a couple of hours later when it's dessert time, that is just like this. It's velvety. It's so amazing. Anyway, probably more information about my dessert eating habits than any of you probably ever wanted to know. Goodness me. Oh dear. Alrighty. I'm noticing a lot more orders for like fiber scour and the likes come through. I think people are starting to pull out their fleeces and give them a good old swishy McSwisherson through the fiber scour. I actually had the guy who I order it from. He lives, I wouldn't say super local, but he has to come in to Beenleigh for appointments and stuff every now and again. So I'd ordered something yesterday or the day before, and I was totally prepared to pay for the shipping on it. And he rang me and was just like, hey, I'm actually going to be in your neck of the woods if you're happy for me to drop it off. I'm like, yes, please. So I just had a quick 5-minute chat with him just before the live stream started. So that was cool. So he makes the fiber scour and the delicate wash, which I love to pieces. Sally says, no, I can't be cold when I have cold things. Nah. I suppose I'm in Queensland. We don't exactly get like legit cold. And John says, I'm a New Englander. I drink iced coffee and eat ice cream year round. Yeah, because there's some places where if you wait for it's warm enough, it's never warm enough. Like how cold is cold? Like if you're in England, their summers are 20 degrees. Would you eat ice cream then? Like, or is that still too cold for ice cream? I do like a nice hot dessert too, like a pudding, or them self-sourcing ones. You know, when you make the lemon cake and then you pour the stuff over the top of it, and when it bakes, the cake rises up through it, and all the liquid juicy bits are down the bottom, and then when you scoop it out, it's all delicious and gooey with cake. They've got a name. I don't know what they're called. I like them. Self-sourcing puddings, I call them. I don't know if they've got a proper name. But they're fun and they're quick to make and they're not expensive to make and they're good on a really cold night. John says it's 4 degrees C here now. So, yeah. Oh, you reckon that's too cold? 20 is still too cold. So if you move to the UK, you'd never get to have ice cream. Like, what kind of life is that? Chintami says, I eat ice cream year round. Also iced water. Sally says self-sourcing puddings. Self-sourcing rubbings. That could be something different. Where's Emma? Lemon golden syrup dumplings. I don't think I've ever had that. I might try it. I might need a recipe because I don't have a recipe because I've never heard of it. But I could try that. Abby's been on this taco making kit because she's got an assignment due. And they're cooking for a function. So I think it's just other kids at school. And Abby and her partner are making tacos and agua fresh because you had to make a main and then either a dessert or a drink. And so they decided to go with this dessert. So she's been making this thing called agua fresh. I didn't know what it was. It's basically watermelon pureed with, like it's like think lemonade, right? But with watermelon, like homemade lemonade with a bit of lemon juice, bit of sugar, some water. It's like that, but watermelon. It's very nice, very refreshing. And they're making their taco seasonings from scratch and stuff like that. And they're not allowed to be too spicy because they're feeding kids at school and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no spicy. What's the point? Anyway, she's enjoying it. So she's been trialing it all out on us. It's horrible being a parent of a student doing catering subjects. So terrible. The other night she made dinner for us. Like, this is so new and I love it because it means that's one more night I don't have to cook, which I'm like, I'm all in for. But she made us chicken skewers, like chicken kebabs. And then our sides were broccoli with like crumbled feta, broccolini, sorry, with crumbled feta, and cherry tomatoes, and snow peas, and which is really weird because she doesn't eat snow peas. Again, I don't know why. Like seriously, they're delicious. But yeah, so it is. Hey, can one of the Zoomy girls pop into the chat that I can't like that we're live? I just got a message from one of the Zoomies going, "Hey Chantel, did you watch this thing?" And I'm like, no, I'm doing a thing. I bought some yellow yarn and safety eyes. A cousin of mine asked me to make her an amigurumi bee. Oh, that's cute. That's very cute. Yeah. It is. I love amigurumi toys. I don't make heaps of them. When Abby was younger, I made tons. I made so many. Abby's got like an entire crate of amigurumi toys, like little octopuses and turtles and cats and horses and like all sorts of stuff. And I thought she'd want to get rid of it, but she doesn't seem to want to get rid of it. So I think that's cute that, you know, she ditched all her other stuffies, but not the ones I made her. So, yes. All the stuffies all the time. John says, I've been putting off learning how to make amigurumi. Now I have till the end of April. John, I actually think you would be a whiz at amigurumi because my biggest issue is not crocheting tight enough. And because you do need to crochet quite tight for your amigurumi, I think you would be an absolute whiz at it. It's just sort of like crocheting in a circle, a lot of like with shaping, which I think you could do it. I can't see you not being able to do it, honestly. Game Widow says she's posted the lemon dumpling recipe in the fun zone. Awesome. I should have forgot it was Thursday. Fair call. I sometimes forget that. Yes, like Abby was talking about something, and she was, "Oh, that's right. Oh, Mum, it's free dress day tomorrow." When I'm like, "I thought your free dress day was Thursday." She's like, "Tomorrow is Thursday." So I've like sat down, put in today's live stream thing. I'm like, "Whoops! Thought it was Tuesday yesterday. I lost a whole day." So yeah, just one of those things. Totally lost a day. No real reason, just forgot what day it was. Which I didn't think I could do when it was school term, honestly. I'm up to another one, but it doesn't have a thingy. No thingy. Sally says, I had no idea what day it was yesterday. Yeah, me neither. Game Winner says, I think I lost Tuesday. Was there something about Tuesday that just made it disappear? Yesterday was Tuesday. Here you're in tomorrow. I forget about that. Sorry, guys. Yes, those of us that are in Australia, it's Thursday for us. Sally says, I actually thought it was the weekend. What day was it? I think it was like a Monday. For some reason, I thought that it was Friday, and I was like looking forward to what I was doing on the weekend. I was just like, oh no, now I gotta wait. Oh gosh. Francis says it's week 8 of term and I'm still struggling to remember what day it is. Yeah. So weird. I think also because like I know you guys can't hear it, but I can really hear the crashing around that's happening next door. I know what it is. I've got no problems with it. I think what he's doing is amazing. But gosh, it's very distracting, I have to say. Ruth has finished part 1 of her mystery cow. Woot woot! Go Ruth. Awesome. Game Winner says there's a good chance I slept through it. Well, you did have the Rona, so maybe you did sleep through it. Oh, come on, yarn. How far through? About halfway through. Oh, I think it's going to be legit yarn chicken, you guys. I've got to crochet tighter. I need to crochet faster. I've got to beat the yarn to the end. Oh, my goodness. Wabadoo. Yeah, Wabadoo. Nettie has made a 50-gram skein of my nitty noddy yesterday and made a boo-boo. Now I'm going to need a spare set of arms to fix it. I would just slide it over the back of a chair, right? That's what I would do. John, sorry, not John, Sally. I bought a Yarn Swift and blocking board. Gonna use the blocking board for the Amma after the bee. Fantastic. Get those squares looking schmick before you join them together. Definitely the way to go. That was something that I was really happy about when we made our Zoomy blanket, was that we all blocked our squares before we posted them and made it so much what am I doing? It made it so much easier to join the squares. It was so good. John, is John now the other Sally? Oh my gosh. I hope not, Sally. For a while there, I messed up people's names, something fierce. We ended up with all these other Sallys. The other Sally, not that Sally, the other Sally. Oh my gosh, it's been a while. I think my brain's on like 100% overload right now. So just keeping going, keeping on. Oh dear. So there's a feature here in StreamYard now, and I would like to trial it for just a second, and you guys tell me what you think. Hang on, I've got to go. All right. So they've got inbuilt music. Now I've got it turned down to very low. On this end, it's like like an eighth of the sound scale. So tell me what you guys think. I don't know what I've chosen here. Hang on. It's not going to let me hear it. So can I hear it? I'm just going to. Oh, yeah, I can hear it if I turn the volume up a little, which I'm not going to. So you guys can tell me, can you hear it, like for a start, or have I got it very, very, very loud? Very loud. I think it was Kim who started calling Jackie Sally. I think so. Oh, I don't know what happened there. That was scary. Did I do something bad? It might be, I don't know. Is it too loud for you guys? Can you even hear it? I don't know. It's very well, because I don't want to deafen anybody with it, because quite often there's lots of complaints if I have music. The music broke the video. It did. Hang on 1 second. I'm just add it back. Let's see if that. Can you guys still hear me? That was bizarre. Let's not do that ever again. Okay. Wow. Thanks, Freaky, for the welcome back. I tried something and it failed, and let's never do that again or mention it. Oh, I didn't even realize, because on my screen here, it had me here like normal. It wasn't until I looked over onto the YouTube screen and realized that it was not there. My dad keeps trying to ring. Gosh, I hope it's all right. I think he forgets it's Thursday, and I put my phone on silent on Thursdays. Hang on. Oh, fantastic. Cool. All right. So, sorry, because I have something exciting happening tomorrow as well. Yeah, I had one job. It's StreamYard, but not Streamlabs. But yes, one job, one single job. I did have the music very, very, very quiet because I didn't want to, because I mean, I couldn't even really hear it on my end, but I figured maybe it was louder for you guys, and I didn't want to be like, deafen anybody. Now you would rather no music anyway. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's a tough call. It's a tough call. But yeah, it's so tomorrow I have the first live stream on the new channel is happening as well. So I have a guest that I'm interviewing. It's an amazing creator called Shelley Nathan, or Shelley Saves the Day. And she has been on the platform for years doing lots of different things, but she uses a lot of live video in her business. So we're going to have a big talk about that, and I'm so excited. So I also have that on my brain. So much on my brain. Oh, gosh, Chintami, that's terrible. Goodness me, they're still here resting. Well, I'm glad they're still there resting and not trying to push through, because that would be, I think that would be scarier, right? Or at least for me it would be. Oh, freaky. I'm not sharing that, you shocker. I'm just saying. Nope. Oh, dear. Oh, he's fine now, though. Oh, that's good. That's good. But it would be a bit stressful for them to think that it could be bad, but luckily it's not, so that's good. Maybe he just wants to stay with you, and his heart hurt because he was leaving. That could be it. Oh my gosh, this giant chicken's stressing me out. I'm like watching. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the pile here. Bring it closer. There you go. You guys can watch the pile dwindle with me as well. Because I'm watching it over there and I'm like, oh, it's getting so small. Slightly stressy. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Nettie. Good luck for tomorrow. Yep. Thank you. It should be fun. It should be fun. We're not streaming for 2 hours over there. It's not happening. Yeah, thanks. Sally's like, glad you read that to yourself beforehand. I do try to do that with Freaky's comments because, like, he's sneaky. He'll be like, good comment, good comment, good comment, good comment, cheeky. And you're just like, oh no, I shared a cheeky one. And you're like quickly trying to bring it off the screen as fast as possible. We told him he just needed to say he wanted to stay longer. The chest pains were not necessary. Oh, hang on. Sorry. I moved the ball of small away. You never know. Absolutely. Oh, I should bring these up while I remember. I've missed a few. Up you go. And one more here. I'm so happy with how this blanket's coming out, honestly, you guys. I mean, I do complain about how long it's taking. Sure. Like, I can't deny that. But I'm very happy with the overall look. It's going to look amazing all laid out on my bed and all hanging over the sides and being all drapey. It might even be big enough that Tim and I can actually share it, because we tend to have separate blankets on our bed because Tim plays Taco Tim and I get none. I have no blankets. So I have my own blanket now because I don't like that. So we've just found that that's what works for us. So that's what we do. But this could be big enough that he could probably be Taco Tim with one side of it, and I would still get some. I would still get some blanket. It would be very exciting. But I will need to order more purple. I definitely think I will. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep going till I run out of yarn and have to order more and work out exactly how many I'll need from there. And then put the project down for a couple of weeks while the yarn comes. Or I could have a guess at how many balls I'm going to need, order now, so that I don't lose momentum. And I just don't know which way to go, honestly. I really don't know. I've got no idea how many balls I'm going to need for the border. I do like the idea. I saw those photos that you guys shared of all like the stripes and the colored sections and stuff like that to use up like the ends of the colored balls. And I love that idea. And it would definitely mean I would need less purple. But I just don't know. Oops, that's not what I want there. I want more double crochets. Inherited Stitches, welcome to the chat. Just need to make the next one 3 meters wide. Well, let's see I mean, who knows about how big it's going to end up. It's 2.2 meters now, and then add the border. So it's already enormous. It's already huge. And we have like just a standard queen bed. So it's a 2 meter wide bed. So it's already over the sides before borders on. It's going to be ridiculously long. I mean, maybe I could just flip. Who knows? Like, let me think. We might even be able to just flip it sideways and have it super, because it's going to be very long. It's going to be way too long. You guys are shocking. I'm reading the chat here and I'm just shaking my head. I mean, John's right. And a few others that I can think of from history, which we won't name here. But yes. But no, I don't know. Like I ordered what the pattern said plus an extra couple of balls of the purple because I was making it in worsted weight rather than DK. But I mean, I always knew I was guessing. If that makes sense. Is that right? Just double checking I'm not stuffing them up. I mean, this is a very, very valid point again, which is where my brain keeps going. Like, do I really want to put it in the corner again and risk not picking it up for another 6 months? Because there's always a chance of that. Because I've done it before. So yeah, it's a real, yeah, definitely something I'm trying to think about. But I'm just worried that I'll order either way too much or not enough and have to order again and risk all these different color batches and that's actually a very valid point as well, John, because you do use a bit more yarn than everyone else, don't you? Because of more, or I don't know, maybe. I mean, has anybody, like, obviously you're following the Cal, do you know if anybody else ran out? Because as far as I could tell, like, everyone else did fine. And like, I just ordered 100-gram ball of each color. Well, I ordered 2, which was what the pattern said to do. And so I had no problems there. John says I use a lot more yarn. Okay. I mean, that could be a really big test for you to try and use less yarn. But you are making squares. So maybe just following the pattern, because you're crocheting tighter, so it should technically use less yarn, but you will end up with a smaller blanket overall unless you add in extra squares. That's where my brain, is that right, or did I go backwards? If you crochet tighter, you use less yarn, you get a smaller thing, but to make it the same size, you normally have to add in extras. I think that's what I've been doing. Are you going to do the medium squares as well? So, yeah, okay. All right. Well, I mean, you can always just, I mean, and they're also different as well. So it's sort of like this. You can't just go, oh, how much yarn do I use? John says tighter means more yarn to get the same size. Well, yeah, tight, yeah, because you have to do more rounds to get the same size. But if you just go tighter and accept the smaller size to start with, and then work out if you can make extra squares with what yarn you've got, that could help, rather than just making each square, like adding extra rounds to each square to get them to the right measurements. because then you may end up with a smaller blanket, but you would end up with a complete blanket. Oh, see you later, Vanpia. Have an awesome afternoon. So, yes. Stella, that's actually a fantastic idea. You should weigh your blanket where it is now. Make sure you have the balls to at least the same amount. Yeah, I'm just over halfway. So halfway was sort of here. So as long as I've got enough, or work out how many more I need. Because I've definitely got enough of all the colors, because I've got entire balls of every single color left. It's just the purple that I'm going to run out of. And I'm definitely going to run out of, because I think I ordered 12 balls and there's only 3 left. I think that was right. That's all right, Stella. You're not the only one. I nearly forgot to stream. Couldn't John use a bigger needle for a looser stitch? He could use a bigger needle. He would still crochet tight, but he would get a more open stitch. Yeah, I think. But John's saying that didn't work. I don't know. Anyway, there are ways, because there are a lot of people who crochet very tight, but John crochets exceptionally tight. I've watched a video of him crocheting, and very, very, very tight. But I mean, you've kind of just got to decide what you want to do. I mean, I would personally, especially with a yarn that you're not sure you can actually get more of, or without paying ridiculous postage, I would make your medium-sized squares, not add any extra rounds, except that they're going to be smaller, and then look at it once you've got all your squares, and then decide if you want an extra row of squares, and if you've got enough yarn for that. That's what I would do. Yeah, no, it's your crochet style. Like, you're not going to make that effort, and I understand, because what happens is the second you're not thinking, you go tight again, and then you've got different tension in your squares. You're better off sticking with your normal tension and making your adjustments in how many squares you're making. That's what I reckon. Totally not totally from a person who actually has to go the other way. I'm a very loose crocheter, so I have to allow for the fact that I'm going to end up with bigger squares usually, and have to compensate the opposite way, make less squares, less rows, because it's already going to be bigger, which I didn't do for this project, and now I'm full of regret. Two Arctic Wolves said, I used to bend steel hooks when I crocheted. I bend the small steel hooks, like the thin ones, under about 3 to 4 mil, but other than that, I'm good. Okay. Oh, we're going to make it. We're totally going to make it. I'm going to cry. We're totally going to make it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no, what did I do? I just did something evil. See, my concern is, right, I'm going to show you guys something here. I've got this other chart that's telling me when I need to change colors. And here it says to change new color for this row. But it feels weird adding a new color on this row. But in saying that, there's definitely not enough yarn for an extra row. And there's no more of this. That's all there is of that color. But I've definitely, and I've done all my color changing based off these markers so far. I hope it's not going to look weird or wrong. Bye, Artsog. Enjoy your lunch. I'm going to throw my keyboard out of the window because it keeps jamming. Oh, no. How old is your keyboard? And do you eat or anything near your keyboard? Because what I would do is disconnect it from your computer, however you need to do that, so that you're not typing. Turn it over and gently tap it on the table and just watch all the crud fall out. And then, it should help, possibly. Oh, no. Oh, gosh, I had to do that the other day. I hope that your unwell child is feeling better. Why would it look weird? Just because, like, instead of the point. Oh, actually, no, you're right. This is the point. It's not going to look weird at all because that's the point there. And that's still going to be purple. You're 100% right. I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried. I'm going to finish the row. Yay. Okay, I'm at the end. I'm at the end of the row, pattern. Tell me what I need to do. That isn't that. And then 2. And then all the way across. So I tend to kill keyboards in other ways. So sorry, I'm just like so excited. I'm like, we're going to finish the color and I'm not going to run out. And it's going to be awesome. And I actually have to cut the color off. Yay! Look, I've got that like that much left. It's hardly any. That wouldn't do. I don't know, a third of a row. Okay. John's teasing me over here. And it's back to yellow again anyway. So it's not a red to yellow transition, John. It's this color. So, right, where's my thing? Not much came out, but it was very satisfying. Yeah, because you do get to bang it like. Hopefully that helps. Maybe not very much came out, but maybe the thing that's making life miserable came out. It's not on the sideways point. No, I know, John, it's not. It's not going to bother me though. I don't care that much. I really don't care that much. I would stress more trying to go for the extra row with this because there's no way I would do it. And then I would have to change yarns mid-row, which would do my head in even more. But I am following the pattern. I'm following the color change row numbers for the pattern. So, yeah, on that red, orangey to yellow. Red, orangey. Because, I mean, I've been following all of the row numbers all the way through. They seem to be okay, right? I would think. I don't know. That's what I'm doing. I'm changing colors now because I don't actually have more yarn. Oh, it has helped. Yes. Woot. I'm glad. Maybe there was just a bit of something, a little bit of something was just under a particular thing. I particularly hate it when it's under the space bar or under the enter key and there's something hinky and you're just like, why is it not working? Okay, I'm up to the next row. Oh, no, I am here. I'm here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right. How many of you have had yarn chicken fails and fudged it and it still worked out okay? Or did you have to, like, you got like the total sads and had to just pull out the whole project? Because I've actually done both. Sometimes you're just like, this is never going to work. And then other times you're like, it'll be good enough. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. If I do that, okay. All right, I've already done 2, so that one goes there. Just double checking the screen is still working. Yep. Molly's done both. Awesome, Molly. Thank you. And then that goes there. And then all the way across. Oh, it's another kind of easy one, like the last one. I've rewound and took a picture of the screen. Okay, so I can have a look at that later, John. Cool. Alex Jones. Thank you. I agree with you. I don't hear the name Chantel very often at all. Yeah, fudging's not worth. Oh, mods. Do you want to get in there and quickly before? There we go. Let's just. Thank you. Yeah, just hide. I think someone hid and someone unhid. There we go. Done. Timed out, but I'm just gonna. Alex Jones, Trash Panda. Oh, thank you, Sally. I couldn't get in there and do that. Well, that one's actually a troll. That one's not a bot. Starts with something nice and then goes in with the slammer. Not kind. Anyway, where were we? I've got to scroll so far up the chat to find the chat. All right, I'll check the screen to see where we're at. Yeah, do you know what? Like, even at your worst, Freaky, you didn't just write slurs like that. You actually trolled interestingly. Net says, I must away now too. I only meant to stay a while. Have to go pack for our club's Bornhofen. Bornhofen is on in April. I forgot about that. I used to love Bornhofen. It was one of my favorites. I wish she still did camps. I'll have to try and sort some out just to come, not bring a shop or anything like that. So years ago, those of you that don't know, I used to do the camp circuit. So Bornhof, like basically 9 months of the year, each month, I would be at a camp or a retreat with my little shop, selling all my stuff. And it got too much. I couldn't do it all. And then I stopped going. But what I really need to do is actually just go every now and again, just to a fun one and just chill and have good times and take my spinning wheel out and actually spin something. Francis says my cat loves wool and chews on it. Oh, so does mine. Tibbles is the worst. Molly, for some people, that is the goal, and they're happy with that goal. It gives them something to do. They're bored, is really what it boils down to. They're bored. And sometimes just mean-spirited. So, yeah. Yeah, it's all good. And you guys, like, seriously, I've been in chats where there's like 10 mods and we've done the hide, unhide thing for ages before someone just, like, it was just like, oh, it isn't too late. I can't come. I've got a whole pile of stuff to do. Starts tomorrow. I hope that you would say hello to lots of people for me. That would be amazing, Nettie. But no, I can't attend this year. I'm just making sure I am doing the right thing. So that's that one. Yes, okay. I'm happy with where I'm doing. So good. I'll just keep going. It's so much fun. If you've never been to a craft retreat, find one in your area. I mean, obviously it depends on the people that are there, but they can be so much fun, and you can find new people who love doing what you do. I started spinning 3 years ago and I've been trying to get to the Tamworth Spinners Camp in September ever since. Fingers crossed for this year. I hope you make it. Freaky's written here, they are looking for higher intelligence the wrong way around. I tried to be a troll once. That's how you, isn't that how you found Fiberific in the first place? We were live and you trolled us. I think that's how this whole freaky friendship started. I could be wrong. It was a long time ago. Has anyone done kitty toys? I will be starting some next week. I have not. I'll be honest. I will do. I spoke to Philip this morning and asked him if you went to camp. I did. I used to go to all the camps. Say hi to Philip for me. We used to hang out a lot more than we do now. Freaky says I troll all the lives I visit, but you're a kind troll now. Now it's more quirky trolling than just nasty. So yeah. Yes, I used to go to lots of camps. So just in the southeast corner of Queensland, I used to do. Let me think. It was April was Bornhofen. May was one of the Toowoomba camps, I think. June was Ipswich. July was Queensland Spinners. It's now moved to August. Then there's the second Toowoomba Spinners. So Highlands, Toowoomba Highlands Spinners. So it was Gold Coast, Ipswich. No, Gold Coast, Toowoomba, Ipswich, Queensland Spinners, Toowoomba, Harvey Bay Spinners. That was the other one I did. I knew there was one more. And then there was something else. Because I was away for 9 months because then there was also Bendigo and other events that I would travel to. So yeah, I think I'm missing something. Highfields, not Highlands. You're right, Nettie. I used to love going to Highfields. It was before they did all the big revamp there too. It's supposed to be all different up there now. That's another fun camp. They do, like Gold Coast and Highfields both do lots of cool workshops. Have an awesome time. I'm a bit jelly. I definitely miss going to Bornhofen and all the amazing people there at Gold Coast Spinners. Just trying to think. There was another one that I used to go to. I'm going to write a list. I'll go through and I'll find them all. Yeah, no matter what the place is, it was high. Absolutely. No. That needs to be. Yeah, because it's up the top of the Toowoomba Range, but to the right instead of to the left. But we've got our own Fiberific retreat now for those of us that can venture that way. Rebecca, Gympie, Pam Patterson. Gympie, that's it. That's the one. I knew I forgot one. That's another fun one. Rebecca says, I've never been to a crafting retreat or camp. It can be amazing. It obviously, it always comes down to the people that you go with or that are attending. But just like the ones that we have here, I don't know if they're the same everywhere, but they're catered, you kick back, you sit and craft, chatting with up to 100 other people, depending on the place that you're going to, talking about craft and other stuff. Usually there's normally a couple of little shops that you can, people who are also crafters of little shops. You can buy some supplies while you're there and just have a good time. It's normally like the ones I go to usually end up being like bunker, like camp style, like school camp style accommodation and things like that. So, you're normally in like a bunk room with a pile of people. We do tend to try and keep to the bottom bunks because most of us are a bit older and top bunks aren't really our friends. The Fiberific retreat does not have bunks. Or actually, I think one of the rooms has got bunks in it. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. So Molly says, I've not been to a retreat or a camp, too busy working. Yeah. And that's the thing. They're not free. You've got to pay for them. So, you know, having some income is always helpful. And different ones are different prices. Like, so the ones that I used to go to, they're very inexpensive. Full weekend away, fully catered, under $200. Like, they're all dearer now. They're all closer to 300. But like, they're very basic food, very basic accommodation and crafting areas. Whereas there's some that are up to $1,500 where you get like beautiful resort style accommodation. I've never been to one of those ones. And the Fiberific retreat's sort of in the middle. So did you bring a gavel to your first meetup? No, we didn't. I did, however, be naughty and buy some IKEA chocolate mousse to have with my bottle of water. Molly says, I'd love to go, just don't have that sort of time available. You may do down the track, or, you know, the thing that I really found for me was it was just super nice to just get away from work for a little while, and just chill with people who love what you love. I find that for me, that sort of stuff is really important, but everyone has their own priorities. Like, that's the thing. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. A lot of them have a where you can just come for the day on a Saturday. So Chintamani came on as a day attendee, and it was fun. Oh, Game Widows, yeah, craft cruises. They look amazing. They really look phenomenal. I've got some friends who've done a couple of them, and they just love them to pieces and have been hanging out for them to come back again. So I've never been on a craft cruise. I've only been on one cruise. It was fun. I'd probably cruise again, but I would make sure I bring Dramamine, because it turns out that I get seasickness on cruise ships. I don't on boats and dinghies and trawlers, but for some reason on a cruise ship, I get seasickness. I don't know why. It's so weird. I never for a second thought I would get seasickness. Oh dear. I used to live on an island, and we would catch water taxis to go grocery shopping. We, 2 hours across the bay to go and do the shopping. No problems. Oh goodness. I don't even know. It's definitely a crazy thing. But there's so much fun stuff. Like, there's free stuff. There's stuff that doesn't take too much time. There's stuff that takes tons of time. And the thing I love about that is if you have a look around, you might find something that fits you. You may need to travel for it. But they're around. They are around. It'd be nice if there was some big register that had them all. But as far as I can tell, there's not. And I'm not making a register. Very funny, Freaky. Oh dear. We are, like, seriously flying through. I would totally finish a third row. 3 rows. Dun, 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 dun. So excited. Oh my goodness. Just double checking I'm not screwing it up. Like, I'm just double checking. Sally says craft retreats is so much fun, especially the Fiberific one. We did have a good time, didn't we? It was a blast. It was an absolute blasty blast. Just hanging out and getting to see everybody. It was good. Freaky, don't jinx me. I was just having a quick look to double check I wasn't going to have to frog anything. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Let's keep going. We're nearly there. I'm so excited to finish with this color, because I want to get away from the yellow so I can fix this stupid camera up. It really has not enjoyed this yellow section. I've still got, another yellow section, but then I can sort of flip it over and keep the yellow out of the way, and then we can have normal color again. It does not like the yellow. Sally says, yes, I was super nervous to go at the beginning, meeting new people face to face, but once there, I had a blast. And that's the thing. It is always just that little bit nerve-wracking going somewhere where you don't really know anybody in real life. It's kind of cool if you can go with a buddy the first time especially. But yeah, it's a bit scary. But also sometimes that makes it more fun. I remember my first VidCon. It's not a craft camp or retreat, but I went by myself. I didn't know anybody. At this stage, I hadn't met Chopper or Matt or any of the other Australian creators that I now call good friends. But I had messaged, I'd messaged Matt because that's Matt McKenna, because he was doing like a round table thing that you had to enter into like a draw, because there was like tons of people but only a limited number of seats. I actually won, and he said, if you win, message me. And so like 10 of us messaged him so that he could check out our channels to give us advice and stuff like that. Anyway, Matt and Chopper are good friends, and I posted in the Australian YouTubers that I was going for the first time, and I was a bit nervous, and Chopper was being really kind. And then we met down there for the first time. So Chopper and I, it's 5 years now, I think, because there was 3 VidCons and then COVID for 2 years. So yeah, 5 years. So it's hard to believe that's how it started. It was just scary and nervousness, but now I've got some good friends out of it. And I think that's been the same case for some of you guys. Yes, I did. That's right. You then came down and we met up for lunch before VidCon. Yeah, that's right. And I was like so nervous and so scared. Leslie Grant says, I'm being brave and going to the Fiberific retreat all by myself, but excited to meet all the people. It'll be awesome, Leslie. You'll have a fun time, I think. I agree, Sally. Meeting somebody online, either like this or Zoom, is very different than meeting them. I agree 100% for sure. Yeah. It is scary. It's very scary. But I'm so glad that you did it, and that you jumped on a plane and you came all this way and you came to the retreat and you had fun. That's so awesome. Where's my little dog? It's curled up in the corner. The aircon in here is quite cold now. So he's like coiled up like tight in a little ball. He's having a good nap. He'll need a good play in the yard later to burn off some of this energy he's building up. Kathy says, I wish Brisbane wasn't so far from Wisconsin. Yeah, me too. Once you get there, you'll want to be by yourself. You won't be by yourself for too long. No, definitely not. Sally says, I'm still crossing everything that I can actually fly up. I know, me too. I hope everything sorts itself out, or gets sorted out, I should say. But yes, it's all very exciting. And I'm starting to put together the ideas for the tote bags, because I make like gift bags for everybody who comes. So yes, it will be some excitements and some funs. Leslie, I'm going for the first time too. We will be great. Yeah. I agree with you, Freaky, 100%. We need to speed up science and get those transporters working so we can transport from location to location. Agreed. I love transporter science. It was fun getting on a plane by myself. They're getting up at 3 a.m. Not so fun. Oh, Steph, I've missed a few weeks. How's the yard? Okay, so the council came out and they did a big sterilization cleanup thing, and now it's all dried out and it's all normal again. It's all back to normal. So, but we'll just have to. There's no fix on the actual problem yet. There's a cleanup of the aftermath, but no accepting that it's their problem either, which is the other fun one. So hopefully we don't get any massive amounts of rain anytime soon. Teleporting for the win. Absolutely. We're just a big bunch of old Star Trek nerds in here. At least I am. And I will wear that banner proud. Okay, look. This little bit left to go. Row 3 of the day. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just double checking. I'm not screwing it up. What's going to happen is I'll go inside, I'll come out, I'll lay it out, and I'll be like, oh, look at this mistake. I've made 19,000 rows back. I'll see you later, Game Widows. Natalie says, it was scary driving 1,200 kilometers to meet people in real life I'd gotten to know online. Yes, that was a big trip. Oh, really, John? Like I haven't watched. I've been getting my husband because he didn't watch Picard season 1, and so we're going through Picard season 1 now. So it's just time traveling stuff again? Is that what you're saying? Because I've been avoiding all the spoilers because I don't want it ruined for me, really. But I mean, I don't mind the time traveling stuff as long as it's done well. I mean, there's only so many story arcs they can do. All right, I'm in the last section here, and so 1, 2. Hang on. 1.1. Then 1, 2, and then Doozy, it's one with the whales. Do you know what's really weird, John, is I was watching Supernatural yesterday, and they were like, dudes, we just need to do Star Trek 4, and nobody got the reference, and he had to explain what it meant. Like, the one with the whales, and everyone just looked at him blankly. It's like, oh, no, and he had to, yeah. So that was like yesterday. That was so weird. I'm going to have to watch Star Trek 4 now just because it's been brought up in my life 2 days in a row. Freaky says, the only spoiler I can give you is that all the names scroll up in the credits every week. I mean, thanks, Freaky. Just double check. Okay, we did it. And in our allotted time, we have completed the next section. So I've got to change colors. I don't have the color out here, so I can't even start the next row. So the next color will join on here. It's actually, yeah. I mean, ideally, I think I would prefer to have, but the chart says the new color starts on row 127. So, I mean, I'll double check those instructions, but I really don't have enough yarn to do it anyway. Okay, timing is fantastic. John, yes, I love that. And like where he's got to wear the little sweatband to keep his little ears hidden. Everyone remember where we parked? Oh, that is a cool line. Oh my goodness. Water time, I think. Well, we've done it. We have done 3 rows, which is exciting. Next week is a new color. Woot woot! I'm very excited about that. And hang on a second. Really confused. Just Googled Star Trek 4 and it's being released next year. Okay, so there's Star Trek 4 that was in the, like, back in the old days, but there is a 4th Kelvin timeline Star Trek movie coming as well. So there's 2 different Star Trek timelines. Star Trek 4 has the original Captain Kirk. Excuse me. It's an old one. It's like what, like 80s? 80s. I want to say late 80s. So yeah. The Voyage Home. Yes. Oh, Josephine, welcome to the chat. Sneaking in here with the Star Trek references. Sue Ellen, I have. It has to be pretty dang heavy for it to do the thing. Early 80s. All right. 84. All right. Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's an old one. It's on Paramount and Netflix, I want to say. I think it's on 2 different streaming services at the moment. The Voyage Home was 86. I don't know, but it was 80s. That's all I know. But old. It's now retro because apparently 80s is retro. That does my head in. Anyway, it's been so much fun hanging out with you all today, and I am excuse me, so happy that you could all jump in and join me for another week of Fiberific Live Craft and Chat. Big, huge thank you to those of you that are channel members, getting in there with your special little icons, and those of you that are Patreon supporters as well. Keeps me in gear and internet so that we can hang out. And now I'm going to go off and put this aside, and I'm going to go and make some lunch because I'm hungry now. We talked about all these amazing foods, and my mouth's been watering for hours. So I will catch you all next week. And we'll see how it all goes. Have an awesome week, everybody.